Hello, I'm Senator Rosa Franklin of the 29th Legislative District in South Tacoma. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the legislative issues I consider most important. I sponsored a number of bills this past session, some of which were passed by the Senate and House of Representatives and were signed into the law by Governor Gregoire, and some were not. That is not unusual. Only about 20% of the bills proposed in a given legislative session make it into law, and we legislators often file the same bill for several years until we finally win enough support for passage. The system is intentionally designed to make it difficult to pass a bill in order to prevent the passage of frivolous bills or unwise policy in the heat of the moment. This year, I was pleased to see the passage of several of my bills that will make life easier for constituents. One of them, Senate Bill number 5920, passed only after considerable debate and after being amended into a version of a House bill. The measure dealt with payday loans, which many lawmakers wanted to limit so severely that it would have forced most lenders out of business. I saw things differently. For many people with limited credit, payday loans are the only means of getting money to deal with a financial emergency, especially in the 29th District. I was determined to wind up with a bill that provided safeguards to protect borrowers from abusive loan practices, but not drive the lenders out of business. I'm happy to say I succeeded. Another of my bills, Senate Bill number 5290, makes it easier for low-income and elderly customers to receive discount rates from utility companies. Another, Senate Bill number 5369, ensures the state will monitor the newly created health positions of agency-affiliated counselors, certified counselors, certified advisors, associates in mental health counseling, marriage and family therapy and social work, and trainees in chemical dependencies. Another bill, Senate Bill number 5551, to make sure young students receive the kind of physical activity to blow off steam in between classes, requires the State Superintendent of Public Instruction and the statewide Parent-Teacher Association to conduct a survey of elementary schools on the importance of recess and report back to the legislature. Senate Bill number 5699 increases training for public guardians. Until now, the Office of Public Guardianship has provided training only for guardians already under contract. This expands the authority to train individuals expected to provide service in the future, but who are not yet under contract. Several of my most important bills, which would introduce badly needed fiscal reforms to our tax structure, did not pass, unfortunately. But I intend to sponsor them again next session. I cannot overstate their importance. Frankly, if those bills had passed several years ago, when I first proposed them, our state would be better able to weather the current recession, and we would be able to provide better public services to those who need them. Unfortunately, tax reform is a very difficult idea for the public to embrace, but partly because opponents have done such an effective job of using scare tactics. As President Obama is discovering with healthcare reform, there are many, many special interests that have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo and will do everything in their power to keep the public from hearing the facts. In the months to come, I will renew my campaign to put the facts about fiscal reform before the public and push for an open, honest discussion of the merits and need for tax reform. As that discussion unfolds, I urge you to listen with open ears and put aside the urge to react until you have heard the facts and had a chance to truly decide for yourselves. Thank you.